I think Prince William has every right to resent the idea that Harry can simply return and expect the past 6 years to disappear. William remained in Britain. He accepted the restrictions that come with his position, and he shouldered an increasingly significant workload while Harry publicly attacked his family and the institution and exposed deeply personal grievances for commercial projects.
Now, it's 9 minutes past 6. We sometimes talk about marmalade droppers, the stories in a newspaper that make you misplace your toast when you read them. And The Sun arguably has one this morning. Harry and Meghan are coming back to Britain. They plan to return for an extended period and enrolled their children in British schools. The King only found out on Sunday, despite seeing Harry during a Highgrove visit last month. Well, joining us now is the royal reporter and host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. Kinsey Schofield joins us now. Kinsey, hello.
Hi, Rosie. So good to see you.
So tell us, why do they want to come back?
I think returning to Britain represents a major climb down for Harry and Meghan because Megxit was built around the argument that royal life was the obstacle to their success. They went to California with Hollywood at their fingertips, multi-million-dollar deals, worldwide fame. I mean, the name recognition was unbelievable, and access to people that you could only dream of. I mean, if 6 years later, the solution is to go back to the country and institution they were so determined to leave behind, it raises an obvious question. What did Megxit actually achieve? And I don't think America didn't let Harry and Meghan down. America gave them every opportunity imaginable. The problem was execution. They had money, attention, powerful connections, a fascinating story to tell, but they repeatedly struggled to turn those advantages into something sustainable.
What has happened, though, in the last maybe year or so, Kinsey, is some improved relationships between particularly Prince Harry and his father.
I mean, I think that the king would love to know his grandchildren, and I don't think any of us would criticize King Charles for wanting to get to know his sweet little grandchildren. I do think that Harry still has an issue with Prince William, and I sympathize with Prince William in this scenario. But, I think we would look pretty cruel to criticize King Charles for making an effort to get to know his grandchildren.
So seeing this in the most generous terms, this could now be the start of proper family reconciliation.
Well, Rosie, this is why we love you, because you're always glass half full. You are always glass half full. But, I think Prince William has every right to resent the idea that Harry can simply return and expect the past 6 years to disappear. William remained in Britain. He accepted the restrictions that come with his position, and he shouldered an increasingly significant workload while Harry publicly attacked his family and the institution and exposed deeply personal grievances for commercial projects. I mean, I think about Queen Elizabeth passing, Prince Philip passing, the King's cancer, Catherine's cancer. How lonely must have Prince William felt throughout the chaos of all of those things. And Harry can't just bounce back and say, is all forgiven? I just don't think that that's a realistic option for him.
Clearly, there are going to be some relationship issues to work through, and that will be much harder to avoid now that they'll be living fairly close to each other. Where actually will Harry and Meghan be? Somewhere outside of London is what we've heard.
We're hearing outside of London. The Cotswolds have been debated. They have allegedly spent some time there. Remember, their friend Ellen DeGeneres, who was their neighbor in Montecito, also moved to the Cotswolds for a period of time. It is outside of London. I understand they're keeping their home in Montecito. They're keeping their vacation home in Portugal. I mean, they've spent some time with Earl Spencer lately. Could it be around the Althorpe estate? We don't know at this exact time, but we do know that their children are expected to be enrolled in school by next month. So things are moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think they're actually already enrolled in school somewhere. So many parents will have new people in their children's class come September, with potentially security surrounding them, Kinsey, because that's really an unanswered question, isn't it? There have been so many rows that Prince Harry has said to say, why won't you basically protect me and my family when we come to the UK, talking to the police here in the United Kingdom. That's not got a neat solution yet.
It doesn't. And that there's recently been the revelation that there's like 9 prime ministers that they're having to figure out, Ravik's having to figure out how to protect, because the prime ministers, they keep a coming and a going. And so there's a lot of There's a lot of high profile people that are prioritized way above Prince Harry. And I don't know if we'll have those answers within the next few weeks or months. But I do think that his last trip, sneaking Meghan and the children into the United Kingdom, quietly meeting with King Charles, no photographs being taken of said meeting, it didn't help his point. And they can sneak around and go under the radar. And so I think that did not prove his point that he desperately needs this attention because they're being followed constantly. And he needs automatic armed protection whenever he's in the UK.
I mean, the scrutiny will be very different as soon as they arrive back here in the UK. And I'm sure the sort of media storm behind them as well. One of the big things, Kinsey, is what are they going to do when they're here? Meghan will be running her lifestyle brand, we believe, still here from the UK. Might this be the first step into a route back into working as a working member of the royal family?
Well, what's being reported here in the States is that while King Charles welcomes the chance to see Harry and the children in a private and personal capacity, it's understood that the king is clear that there will be no alterations to the Duke and Duchess's roles or status as private individuals and non-working members of the royal family. So it's being reported he clearly expressed that there's not going to be any change in their status. They are private citizens and they can pursue whatever their business ventures are, but there's no place for them in the current working royal strategy.
Kinsey, it's been great talking to you. Kinsey, thank you very much. Kinsey Schofield, the royal reporter and host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered.
A little bit of vinegar to your honey, I think, Rosie. A couple of people made the point, including Georgina and Tommy. The real funny banter narrative would be Manchester.
Which has been made a couple of times already this morning.
I mean, Andy Burnham would have a Northgasm, wouldn't he? If Harry and Meghan were to like come and live up north, he would be so excited.
If we're going to park the phrase Megxit, should we park the phrase Northgasm?
No, I don't think so. If we're going to indulge in silly portmanteaus, if that's going to be the nature of the discourse, I'm holding to Northgasm and Megxit. Someone's tried Megtrance for the return. Can I say one generous thing and one deeply ungenerous thing?
Please.
The generous thing is actually families coming together, finding ways to live, returning to your homeland, in the case of Harry, where you're from, where your roots are, where your culture is nice.
Realising that you want your children to have a relationship with their grandparents.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely.
Not lovely, I think actually important.
Fine, I'll let that go. The ungenerous thing is to say, if they had a modicum of talent, they'd be living in America still. And ultimately, they went there and said, the world is full of shallow, useless influencers grifting a living. Why can't we have a slice of that pie? And even in the world of shallow, useless influencers making vast sums of cash, they've not managed to do it because of the lack of talent, originality, artistry, being able to offer anything that adds to the sum of human knowledge. And they've come back to England because basically America, the land of opportunity for creation, has said to them, no, thank you.
That's speculation, though, Stig. We don't know why they've come back. They haven't said. They're probably unlikely to. And actually, they're not in total financial dire straits because they're not selling their home in Montecito.
Next, they've made a fortune because people up front, like Netflix and Spotify, chucked some money. And what happened to those shows? No one watched them.
Well, maybe that was clever to negotiate those deals.
No, making money. I'm not saying about making money, I'm talking about talent. Those two things aren't always exactly the same thing. They're not always coterminous. Anyway, should we do the generous thing?
Yes.
Generous thing. They're back. Megtrance. If you can come up with a portmanteau word, it's going to be the day of silly portmanteau words, apparently. We'll see what you can get to.